They're spending more and more,
Yeah.
and they're saving less and less. How do you explain to them, why is this taking so long in Iran?
Well, so I would say, obviously, it may seem like a long time from the perspective of other conflicts that we've seen in the past. It's only been weeks, not months, and certainly not years.
But longer than the president has told the American people,
Well,
to be
we
fair.
achieved the missions of Epic
Yeah, we thought it was going to be 96 hours.
Fury. We destroyed, there is no Iranian Navy. There is no Iranian Navy.
Bruh. They keep saying this. And honestly, I don't even know if that's true because they still got the submarines, bro. They still have the shallow submarines, which they just started deploying out now. Like,
and by the way, arguably the speedboats were one of the main issues that drove the Navy destroyers out of the Strait of Hormuz. So it's like these
and those speedboats are not a part of the Navies. Those speedboats are part of the IRGC, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, and so like they're talking about how they like decapitated that part of the military. Like that part of the military is actually offering the most resistance to your plan and opening up the strait. So it's just funny.
Small little speedboats with a machine gun on it, but that's not a Navy. They're actual Navy, and they had a Navy. They had a Navy that had carriers on them.
So he admitted that those speedboats are not a part of the Navy.
Aircraft carriers traditionally, but the ones that could launch drones from those things are completely gone.
I understand, but
they
the
have no
strait
Air
is
Force.
closed. There's still uranium.
Well, the straits are closed is their reaction to the aftermath of Epic Fury. They decided they're going to take the world hostage. And my point is, what they're doing now with the straits, they would have done once they acquired a nuclear weapon, or once they built their conventional capabilities where they could hide behind to a certain level. Understand what I'm saying by this. If you have 20,000 missiles, you can't possibly shoot down 20,000 missiles. I mean, they would overwhelm your systems. Once they establish that point of immunity, not only could they hold the world.
Yeah, honestly, dude, they probably have. The people said that their stockpile's like 5,000 or 6,000. Dude, if Hezbollah has 150,000, imagine how many these guys have.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
If Hezbollah has over 100,000 like they claim, imagine how much the Iranians have.
The CIA said 75%, and the Iranians themselves said 120, right? And these stockpiles underground, man, they go deep. They go. Remember, we saw the videos.
Hostage with a nuclear.
Too many of them.
Their program. They could hold a world hostage with the straits. It's not the first time they've tried to control the straits. And what they're doing is illegal. It violates every law on the books in terms of international law, which all these countries in Europe and
well, if you see, it's kind of funny. We use international law and it benefits and not. You did a strike when Iran was not a threat to you whatsoever. According to international law, that is also illegal. Like
to talk about, they have militarized the straits. They are threatening to sink commercial vessels that don't pay them a toll. That's unacceptable to the whole world, not just to us.
Will Project Freedom return? Are we going to start bombing Iran again?
The reason why Project Freedom stopped was at the request of Pakistan. And they said, the Pakistanis said...
This is Epic Hope. That's not the reason why.
That's not the reason. We know the reason why Operation or Epic Freedom, or whatever it's called, Epstein File, Epic Freedom, Epic Fury.
Epstein Fury.
Project Freedom did not work. It's because Kuwait and Saudi Arabia denied giving us access to the military bases and airspace, which we possess and had ownership of, which is why they're buffer states for us. They told us no when it mattered the most, and then the next day, after we seized their operation, then they said, oh, you can come use it now, as if that mattered.
And they also hit some destroyers as well with some missiles. Some missiles got hit with subsonic cruise missiles. That's another reason, too, why they had to back out.
If you guys stop Project Freedom, we think we can get to a deal. And so in the interest of diplomacy, the president would prefer to have a diplomatic solution to this problem with Iran. We went ahead and agreed to stop it. By the way, we agreed to...
See, this is how you know it's bull. The Iranians' biggest grievance isn't them escorting ships. It's the blockade. The blockade is still going on, but they're not escorting the ships. Why are they not escorting the ships? Because they get hit with cruise missiles. Yeah. That's why. And drones. That is the real reason why they stopped Operation Freedom. It was putting the Navy in a significantly disadvantageous position where they can easily be attacked. Okay? That's why.
Stop it. We had destroyers.
This whole Pakistan is cope.
Inside the Persian Gulf. We said, okay, we're going to stop. We're moving our destroyers out. They get fired upon by the Iranians. And that's the activity you saw last week. We still...
And again, guys, they always say in every war, the first casualty is truth. Both sides are lying, right? Both sides. The United States as well as the Iranians. They're never going to tell you the real reason why. Right, they do certain things, or why they made military decision. A lot of times, they're going to say it in a way that's the most face-saving.
The president strongly prefers a diplomatic solution. We're going to continue to try to work on one. We've given this regime in Iran every opportunity to reach one. But part of the problem we're having, frankly, is they're divided internally. Within Iran, they're divided internally, and it makes it hard to get counter proposals from them.
On that point, is the new Ayatollah part of any part of this negotiations? Do you have any evidence? Is there any understanding that the new Ayatollah is active in advising Iranian's leadership?
Well, I think what's clear is that the people we're negotiating with, like their foreign minister, is not the decision maker. So he has to go back to their system. Now, whether that's a council or a supreme leader or what have you, it's not clear.
During the ceasefire talks right around the beginning or really middle of April when J.D. Vance joined the Middle Eastern envoy, there were reports that Abbas Araghchi, Mohammad Ghalibaf, and the rest of the delegation were calling the supreme leader during the decision-making process to get the final say. The same thing that the U.S. delegation was doing to Trump. And he has all the shots. The supreme leader calls all the shots, which is why their demands have stayed maximal despite them potentially wanting to cave because of how much economic pressure they've faced. And also, really quick, Marco Rubio says Trump has been desperate to chase diplomatic efforts. He wants to end this diplomatically. Then why did he block their blockade? Why did he block their ports? It's because he wants to exacerbate the issue. He wants to restart the war. He just needs a plausible reason to do it. Why did he try Project Freedom? He was banking that Iran would actually strike a U.S. vessel or hit the Gulf, so he had another reason to restart the war. So he's not desperate for diplomacy. He's desperate for another war. He wants to finish this.
But he goes back to someone and gets approval for what he's allowed to agree to and what not to agree to. In many cases, the feeling is we are negotiating with someone who then has to turn around and negotiate with someone.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny because Iranians on their side said J.D. Vance was making more phone calls than they did to talk to Trump.
Well,
to get it.
Bro, the thing is,
J.D. Vance was there and Trump was at fucking UFC with this guy getting drunk.
Marco Rubio.
Yeah, Marco drunk.
Faded.
I say we block the blockade. What do you think, Mr. President?
Yeah, we
Fucking
blocked the
idiots.
blockade. You know what? That's a good idea. Like, bro, that's probably they probably came up with that because the blockade happened after the UFC fight, if you guys
Right
remember.
after, yeah.
In his own system and his own country. So oftentimes it takes 4 or 5 days to get responses from the Iranian side. That's been an impediment here. It also, I think, is insight to the weakness of this regime at this point and what they're facing internally. But nonetheless, we're going to keep working at it because we'd like to see a diplomatic solution. That is our preference. I'm not going to talk about what the options that the president has. He has options to do other things if these diplomacy fails, but we're going to give diplomacy every chance to succeed.
How much longer are Americans going to have to wait?
Well, I won't put a timeline on how long it'll take to reach a diplomatic solution.
Course.
We want to reach one. I think what has to happen, irrespective, is the straits have to be reopened. Understand, once again, just to reiterate, what they have decided is there's this international waterway. It doesn't belong to them.
But can
That's
that
not their
happen without
water.
Iran's cooperation? Can that
Well,
happen?
it can happen one of two ways. It can happen because the world, and either Iran decides to do it, or the whole world decides to impose a cost on them for what they're doing. And the whole 100-something countries at the UN have
never
signed
give
up
a
and said
timeline.
we are against what they're doing. I think the job now is to get them to actually do something about it. Are they willing to diplomatically isolate Iran? Are they willing to impose sanctions on Iran to force them to remove those mines and stop shooting at ships that are going through the straits? Because let's be clear, it's hurt our consumers. There's no doubt about it, okay? We are not immune to global oil prices at some point because we do buy from the global market. But other countries around the world are paying a much higher price. They have as much or more to care about the straits than we do. They've got to get involved in this as well.
As the president was leaving for
See,
China.
that's so
Yeah,
disgusting.
that's why a lot of them. Or that's why a lot of them are lining up though to work with the Iranians instead of fight them though.
So disgusting.
Japan, a bunch of our allies
We
are
cucked
lining up
for
to work with them.
Israel. We cucked for Israel. Exactly, sorry. We cucked for Israel. Our soldiers are likely going to die for Israel if we start a ground element, which is critical for seizing the uranium that we're starting this war over. We're hell-bent about. And NATO and the EU not joining is a fault in of their own. And so forget them. They're paper tigers. They don't want to help us die for the Jewish state. Well, then, you know what? They're not our allies anymore. It's like just disgusting. And he's doing this whole thing. Iran's ambitions are growing. They're going to charge for the internet cables. They're going to make more money. They're towing the ships. It's just like it falls on his face every single time, no matter how you slice it. You can keep going.
If you break it down, especially with everything we discussed today, there's so many elements to point to that the American empire is slowly collapsing because of this. And people are going to say that's anti-American. But look at that. We gave up a lot of power to China. We lost so many of our allies. We gave up our power in the Middle East, where our economy is in shambles. This was a major, major loss in every single aspect. But if we talk about, if you don't support the war, they say that you're the anti-American. But analyze it properly. This is where an empire starts collapsing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what Xi Jinping was referring to. He brought up the Thucydides, whatever it's called, some theory where like when the rising power goes against the main power, if the main power does not concede and give that authority or really give the grace to the rising power, war always happens. And so he was loosely trying to imply, in simple terms, Xi Jinping pretty much said in front of Trump and the whole administration, we're going to fight at some point, and you better accept we'll be better than you, because if you don't, there will be war. That's literally what he told us. And as he's telling him that, we're in a forever war that's draining our pockets in the Middle East. $25 billion, probably going to be close to 50 by the end of the summer. All for what? You know, they know this. You can keep going.
Did he make a mistake when he told a reporter that America's financial situation isn't playing, quote, even a little bit of a role in his motivations to make a deal with Iran?
No, I think what the president is claiming.
I remember when he said that.
That
pissed a lot of people off.
Use that as
Doesn't
leverage
that sound
against
out of
us.
touch, though? I mean, Americans are spending so much for gas.
Because I think what the president is making clear is that we're not going to let Iran use that as leverage. Think about what the Iranians are thinking. The Iranians, and they watch this. Remember, there's no free press. There is no you in Iran, right? There is no press in Iran that can criticize the regime or say, create any pressure on them. And I think what the president's making clear is if the Iranians think that they are going to, use our domestic politics to pressure him into a bad deal, that's not going to happen.
That's a good answer,
We're
actually.
taking extraordinary measures to keep gas.
Yeah, see,
he's coping, but he's running cover for Trump's.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, he's more polished.
That's a smart answer. It's like, it's strategic in wartime. That's why he's saying he doesn't care about our finances.
I'm telling you, he spits
But
the
see
hot bar out real smoothly.
Yeah, see how this is the thing, bro. Remember, we're educated on this topic. We're like, okay, that's a good thing. Imagine if you're like a Fox News viewer only and you don't watch alternative media, you don't watch, other types of media and figure out what the hell's going on, and you don't understand foreign policy. Bro, this would sound like gospel to you. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta, like, I try to put myself in the shoes of like an average American. They're gonna listen to this like, damn right, yeah. Like, they don't know like what the fuck is going on in the Middle East. A lot of these idiots don't even know where Iran is on a map. And that goes for both idiotic academic fans that are apes and then as well as dumb white niggas in the Midwest. Like,
you have beef with that?
I understand.
Academics fans.
No, I love Ack. I love Ack. His fan base is just.
Talk about the fans only.
Yeah, I love Ack, but like his fan base is by far the dumbest bunch of fuck. But anyway, yeah, but like it goes both sides. You got the dumb hillbilly niggas in the Midwest that don't know what's going on. Then you got the don't even know what Iran is. You're thinking about cardio when you say Iran. Idiots.
Yeah. Prices lower than they are in some other parts of the world, and
he probably was, bro. Lots of these politicians were lawyers before.
Yeah, bro. Like, he'll be able to.
It will go down. Those straits will be open, and we will see those.
Oh, go ahead.
Those prices go down. And
yo, what food did you get there, Sneako?
Talking tacos, actually. The halal tacos. They have it in New York too.
Oh shit. Okay, I didn't know they had those in New York. All right, that's good.
He was ready to roast me. He thought I got an acai bowl or something.
Who, me?
What did you think I got?
Wait, what's wrong with acai bowls?
I don't know. Probably some fried food. There's some Asian food or some shit like that. Some Caribbean bowl. Some jerk chicken or some other monkey shit like that.
You see how every day I get racially profiled for a different race? It's like you got the academics fans saying that I'm a sellout. He's saying that I'm eating fried chicken. I can't win. In the Philippines, they thought I was a white guy. I'm never gonna. Anyway.
Yo, I don't want to derail. We'll go right back to Rubio. I swear to God. Yo, do you cook? You just order all your food, right?
I have never used my oven once in over a year and a half in this apartment. Never.
Myron hasn't either. That's crazy.
Yeah, nah. Nah.
Broke, you can't relate. All right, just keep going.
Nico, you better still be lifting, bro. Going to the gym. You better not be slacking, man.
I went to the gym yesterday. Not today, though. I went yesterday.
Okay. Fire.
Right.
Let's get a gym session.
Because all of that pent.
Okay, swole. Looking big. Looking big.
Up oil that's being held hostage by Iran, once that reaches the marketplace, it'll have a very positive impact. But I would also say there's a price attached to a nuclear Iran. If Iran ever acquires a nuclear weapon, they will immediately. What would stop them from controlling the straits then? And then forget about it being a 3-month or a 6-month problem. It could be a permanent one.
I want to turn to Cuba now. The State Department just re-upped the offer of $100
Ooh, here we go. This is going to be a good one.
million in aid to Cuba. Cuba's foreign minister says that's an absolute lie, that there is no money coming. Are there any strings attached to that $100 million in aid?
The only strings attached is that they have to be distributed by non-governmental sources like the Catholic Church. I was at the Vatican last week. I spoke to the Catholic Church again. They're willing to play that role.
So what's the holdup? Cuba's lying?
Cuba. They're holdup. They're lying. They lie all the time.
So he was there, just like you said, Ryad. He was there to obviously, kind of calm the waters with the whole Pope situation, and then also to facilitate this potential $100 million aid. And it's kind of crazy because the CIA director Ratcliffe went down there,
which is very unorthodox. Yeah, that was crazy.
Weird.
Yeah.
CIA director?
No, we choked Cuba to death. It's I mean, a 5-year-old could tell what's about to happen from here on out. It's pretty obvious. We cut off their oil supply. They get 2 hours of power a day. They're cooked.
Crazy.
And Rubio's Cuban, which I think we seem to forget. This guy, that's his homeland. And look at how he's getting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've always said diaspora Cubans are kind of like diaspora Iranians. Like they're not as but they're equivalents.
It's worldwide. At the Tommy Robinson protest, there are British guys saying, "Trump, come save the UK." Venezuelans, Iranians, Cubans, British people were chanting USA, USA, begging Trump to help them. like U.S. wasn't the colony that seceded from the U.K. It's so funny how they don't know any of their history. It's diasporas around the world, man. Trump has got the goyim in a chokehold.
The thing about people who are void of a homeland, they're so susceptible to propaganda. So, of course, there's always the infiltration from the various powerful Zionist talking points to shift their opinions.
Like the other thing too, like when you look at like these diaspora Iranians, etc., like them, for example, a lot of them, like their families fled because the Islamic revolution, like kicked their family out because they were Shah-Tard employees or some other like that. So they're obviously going to have generations of like pent up anger and frustration with that government, and then like it never leaves them. So like when they're in Sweden, the United States, whatever, and they're waving around the flag like some cheering for the U.S. to destroy their former country, they don't know better. They haven't been there. They're out of touch. Same thing with Cubans, bro. Are out of touch as well when they're here in the United States. And like, look, I get it. You know, it is what it is. But I do think it's a little weird for you to be a citizen of the United States or a citizen of one of these Western countries, and then like, you know, try to sit there and be like, okay, I know what's best for my old homeland that I haven't been there in forever. Like, bro, like you're not a nationalist for your country, nigga. What the fuck? Like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So
very true.
Yeah, like you have it's like Patrick Bet-David, for example. He's I call him a Shah-Tard. Like he's a perfect Shah-Tard. Like, you know, bro, you haven't been there since you were 10 years old. You obviously you're completely out of touch. I don't think you're in a position to really talk about local politics in the country that you were a child in and your family fled from or were kicked out of. You know, so
it's an inferiority complex. They are begging for approval from daddy, who they think is in charge. They want to be accepted so badly. Little do they know that you're never going to be accepted. It's like nobody wants you here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
to them privately, we're not making it public.
There's parents. So they're so annoying. It's like every group. I don't want to call out every group and get people mad, but these groups that like that, actually I don't care. Like Assyrians and stuff, like they're great people, but they get annoying with that shit. Bro, it's like, yo, bro, like you're losing the plot, but I digress.
Yeah, y'all no nation, bro. Fuck out here. It's like, yo, they're like Puerto Ricans, bro. They all this national pride with no country, man. Shut up.
$100 million. By the way, we've given them humanitarian aid. After the hurricane, we provided them $6 million of humanitarian aid, $3 million of which was distributed.
Yeah. How much?
$3 million of which is still being held up. But
you caught that, Myron?
Now we're saying.
I think he said $3 billion.
No.
Hold on. They're willing to play that role.
So you missed it.
Cuba, they're hold up. They're lying. They lie all the time.
How much aid?
How can he say it's not a real offer? We've made it to them privately. We're not making it public. There's $100 million. By the way, we've given them humanitarian aid. After the hurricane, we provided them $6 million of humanitarian
aid.
$6 million.
$3 million of which was distributed. $3 million of which is still being held up. But
Sir, that's anti-Semitic to notice that.
Available for them. Now we're saying here's $100 million of humanitarian aid. So I don't know if they watch your broadcast in Cuba, but if they are, the Cuban people should know there's $100 million of food and medicine available for them right now. And the only reason it's not reaching the Cuban people is because
strings attached.
The only string attached is it has to be distributed by I don't want non-governmental organizations.
Yeah.
This can't be humanitarian aid that the government steals for itself.
In a year, will someone named Diaz-Canel or Castro be in charge in Cuba?
I don't know. I hope not, because if they are, then Cuba will probably not have progressed.
But is there still a plan for change in Cuba?
Sure. I mean, look, the change in Cuba is their economy doesn't function. It's not a functional economy.
No, I get that, but what is the U.S. plan? Don't understand the U.S. plan.
Well, I wouldn't tell you exactly what our plan is.
To take over and run the sphere of influence, bro. They want to kick out the Chinese and the Russians. That's the number one thing. Cuba, for a very long time, has been, a lot of people don't know this, the Cubans have a very robust and good intelligence program, and they've had it for a very many long time. And what the Cubans specialize in is they get intel from us, they steal intelligence from us, and they give it to all of our adversaries.
Yeah.
This is why they're such a critical component for the Russians and the Chinese. Cuban counter-espionage, bro, or counterintelligence is very, very good.
No, they're
don't know what our plan is, but our plan for Cuba is
50 miles off the coast of Florida. So I mean, I'm not like
Cuban sellers secrets in the black market.
Bro, Cuban regime change versus Iranian regime change, like you could make a very good argument for Cuban regime change. You couldn't for Iran. So that's just true.
Yeah.
Prosperous future. That's what we want. It's in our national interest. And to have a prosperous Cuba, not to have a failed state 90 miles from our shores.
Translation, a prosperous Cuba under our auspice only.
Right. A failed state from our shore. Wait, so then what about Haiti? Like, why is that not an issue for them? A failed state 90, how many miles from the shore? It's the exact same. If they actually cared about saving
it, retarded, and they can't distill.
Well, they don't have intel. They don't give intel to Russia. That's not. But he's posing it like he's going to be the hero of the Western Hemisphere.
Niggas are doing voodoo, bro. Too busy doing voodoo to steal intel to become valuable, man. Niggas are retarded. Sorry, bro.
Bro, I want to make fun of Sudan so bad, but it's just like that's too touchy. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
No,
I'm not gonna do it. When I saw, bro, I thought it when Myron was talking about people don't have a state. I was like, wait, didn't Sudan just separate into two? But it's like, you know what? That's the free Sudan.
What?
You know,
No, that's South Sudan. You're thinking of 2010. Nah,
Yeah.
Sudan's definitely we don't have no diaspora shit going on. We're just getting absolutely cooked with quote unquote civil war, aka the UAE funded proxy, the RSF. The UAE is pretty much Sudan to death. That's what it is. You know? So.
But still better than Haiti, though.
Cubans, you know this, you understand this as well as I do because of where we come from. Cubans are successful.
No, it is. Hey, way better.
Is it?
Yeah, it's far more developed.
Hey, God put us out the voodoo niggas with the earthquakes, man. And
bro, I mean, do you really want to do that? And I'm gonna look at people are gonna chill out because if I say something about Sudan, like that's what's gonna happen.
People, no.
Do I have to start making fun of? Do I need to make fun of that? Like, if I respond properly, then I'd be making fun of genocide. I'm not gonna do it.
No. Sudan pre-war or post-war? What are you talking about? Even
right now,
it still might mog Haiti, bro. Infrastructure-wise, development-wise, IQ-wise, I think Sudan's better, bro. Khartoum,
and they're
infrastructure-wise right now,
bro. Haiti is a voodoo nigga.
Bro, the RSF has pretty much left the capital. They're just kind of remnants in the provinces and stuff, and they're still launching these drone attacks. But Sudan,
there's no drone attacks. There's no drone attacks in Haiti. There's no drone attacks in Haiti.
Yeah, you niggas don't need it. You think it's still cooked. But listen.
So you need the attacks? That sounds like the Iranian diaspora. Real, you needed to be attacked by the UAE?
No, I'm just saying Sudan started to suffer from an infrastructure perspective after the Gulf Arabs started fucking us. But before that, we were chilling. Okay,
yeah. There's no Arabs messing around in Haiti. Like there's no drones. There's no, there might be some voodoo and some stuff going on, an earthquake or something. But there's no attack. I mean, to compare, it's like, are we really doing this right now?
Well, no, okay, wait. Maybe I'm misconstruing what you're saying. I'm saying Sudan has suffered as a result of like UAE intervention, like destroying the country, which is why it is what it is now, contrary to what it was like over 4 years ago when the war first started. But like, what has led to Haiti's demise? Why are they so behind?
Bro, like, it was like a part of the clean break memo, man. The Jews and the U.S. were involved in destroying Sudan, bro. But the destroy Haiti now, bro. There's no value over there.
Well, you don't know about the Clinton Foundation. You don't know how the U.S. has been also doing regime change there, killing the leaders there with different proxy groups.
I've heard of that. I'm not privy to it. I'm really not. I'm not educated on it. So if that's the case, all right, fine. I give you good grace.
I don't want to get clipped and people are going to say that I'm anti-Sudan.
Me too. And
my black PR is in the gutter right now, so I'm going to leave Sudan alone.
We love Sudan. We love Sudan. No, you're good, bro.
Great people.
They actually are. But no, all right.
Yeah,
get back.
Yeah, for sure.
Cuba,
for sure.
And so that's what we want. We want Cubans not to have to leave that island in order to be successful, but they can't because the current model they have it's not just them. It's broken. It doesn't work, and it'll never change as long as the people that are there now are running it. They are closed-minded, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. I would love for them to come to their senses and say, okay, we recognize this really has to change, and it has to change big. But right now, they don't seem to be indicating that. They seem to be digging in.
I have only a few more questions. I think we're getting close to time, but I'm going to be honest with you because I have the timer here.
Oh, wait, hold on, pause real quick. Where do you think is more likely for a Mr. Beast video to dig some wells in Sudan or Haiti? I think Mr. Beast is going to Sudan way quicker than he would go to Haiti, and I don't mean that as a compliment. So that is all I need to say without being disrespectful. Let's be real. When Chris Tyson going to show up digging a hole to try to get some water, and it's not going to be it's going to be in your homeland. So
I honestly think he would actually go to Haiti. He would not go to Sudan. He would go to Haiti.
Haiti's been fucked since inception of humankind, nigga. I don't think Haiti's ever had like advancement. I'm actually cooking it. I love Haitians. Wait, this is bad. Just keep doing the interview. Actually, I just realized what I was doing.
This is not helping. We're gonna get. They're gonna. You understand the FBAs are gonna call us all.
It was all a joke. Right? It was all a joke. It was all a joke. We're Sneako. This is we're doing the bit, right?
No, they're not gonna care because we're tethers anyway, bro. They're gonna say tethers, right?
Yeah, like we don't have ancestors here. Yo, I did a DNA test, Sneako. I'm 95% Sudanese, nigga. Purebred. Okay.
What's the other 5?
Ashkenazi. It's a joke. No, it's Egyptian, Arab Peninsula, and Italian Maltese, and then Cypriot.
Oh, you know Arabs.
Me? I mean, I'm Sudan.
What do you mean me? You guys have the same DNA. You guys have the same exact genetic makeup, right?
So there's admixture, yeah. So after the 7th century Arabization of like Northern Africa, that's why we took in Islam because of trade, and then we became more Arab as a result. But there's different tribes in Sudan, and they have different DNA makeups. Like for example, obviously my brother got far more of the Arab gene than I did. which you can get different DNA passed down from either parent. Like I got like just the Afro, like the pure black gene.
Nigga genetic.
Yeah, I got the nigga genetics. He really like his hair and everything. Like he really looks Arab. Like you would think this nigga is like from Saudi Arabia, like from the deserts of Saudi Arabia. But like I didn't get any of that. He should do it next.
First time, I thought he was. I thought Myron was a really tall Indian when I first met him. I didn't think he was.
He's gonna black out on you.
That was rage bait. That was rage bait. I knew that was gonna work too. I knew that, bro. I want Myron to chip out so bad over that. I thought
he was about to lose his shit.
Call me a G, bro. Call me a G, or what are these? Thank you. Come again, nigga. Fuck out of here.
He's chipping out. He's chipping out.
I'm Indian out. I'm G. You know. That's actually your fan base. Don't you got a bunch of Indian in your chat, bro?
Shout out to all the Indians, all the Pakistanis. Do you know that the Philippines was Muslim before the Spanish came and colonized it, and there was a lot of forced conversions?
There's still a lot there. There's still a lot of Muslims. Yeah, I knew that. There's still a lot there.
Yeah, a lot. About 6%. About 6%.
Those are your people. Filipino Muslims.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't know a lot of that. I learned so much when I was on that tour. You know, the capital, Manila, used to be called Aman Allah before the Spanish came in 1547. That was the name of the capital city. Yeah. And then they flip like this. The Philippines just gets colonized over and over and over again.
I ain't gonna lie, Spanish niggas was not rocking with Islam. Southern Spain too, Andalus, like Islam spread far and wide. A lot of Spanish conquest removed its influence from Europe. That's why it couldn't.
Spain used to be Muslim. Spain itself was Muslim.
That's what I'm saying. Andalus, yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah. That's what it was called. No, we'll get back to Rubio, but Sudanese, it is complicated. They're technically it's on the cusp of sub-Saharan, but then again, we were like coincided with Egyptians. So like they're Arab and they're black. It just depends on the tribe and like a certain Sudanese. Some Sudanese look
What's
like
the average Sudan IQ? Myron definitely. What is it?
I'm not gonna lie, that shit might be below.
You don't know that?
I don't know. I could look it up. You got it. Not South Sudan.
Wait, I don't think there's good enough data. Wait, can we get back to the
IQ in Sudan average is between 71 and 77. Okay, let's see Haiti.
They just hit a soundboard too. Check Philippines.
What about Haiti? Bro, Haiti's lower, bro. Haiti average is 6'7".
That's oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, do you know that's clinically what is it like 65
is that really
right?
What's IQ?
It's 60, 65.
Oh no, an IQ between below 70 and 75 is mental. No, there's not enough data. This is racist white supremacy.
Here we go. Yeah, that's what they all say.
It's inconclusive.
Okay. Yeah,
IQ scores are rigged to support white supremacy.
Yeah, whatever. No, I think Sudan is like somewhere in like the 75. But yo, okay, this is gonna sound so biased, bro. I swear, wallahi, God is.
Wait, aren't you? Wait, so you guys were too.
Off. Listen,
not us. But yeah, a lot because I look like us are.
Bro, no, but I'm saying this without bias. I would never hesitate to admit the truth. Like, in your chat, let's see if your chat can account for this, Sneako, because you have I think a large Muslim audience. Sudanese
mostly
people,
Christian. It's mostly Christian.
Really? Okay. Sudanese people, in my experience, they're actually pretty smart. I'm not trying to. They're actually northern Sudanese people are pretty smart. Okay.
Classic Sudanese using anecdotal evidence.
I'm telling you. I would admit if they were a region. I can't say the same for Haitians. I got met a couple Haitian niggas. They weren't smart.
Haitians, okay, you're calling Haitians, you're calling my people were the first independent slave nation.
Okay. It's good you guys freed yourselves from the shackles first, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but those French got the lick back with them earthquakes, nigga.
2 centuries later, but we were the OG Django Unchained. Okay, we left Master's house on fire.
Struck a deal with the devil to be free, and now y'all are free for real. The Richter scale.
It's like a fucking it's like a PS4 chat at 2 a.m. nigga.
Bro, I don't know what curse you got to get the Jews to like commit a genocide there. It's like, do you want me to say that?
They
want
our gold. They want our gold. Does Haiti have resources? Sudan has tons of gold.
Does Sudan have rukia? If you had rukia, maybe the Jews wouldn't be. I don't want to get clipped, bro. I don't want to get clipped.
You need rukia. You're the one who has all the voodoo doll shit in your island. You need the fucking exorcism in your island. We're chilling. Sudan doesn't have a black magic problem. We just have a Gulf Arab problem. Anyways, all right. We're derailed.
Rubio.
Going back to China, did the president bring up the case of Jimmy Lai?
The president always raises that case, and a couple others. And obviously, we'll hope to get a positive response from that. But and some of these things are best handled outside of the spotlight. But it was raised; those issues are always raised in our meetings.
Would the U.S. provide a safe haven for Jimmy Lai if China were to release him? Could he come to the United States?
I think we would like to see him released. The president's made that point publicly and in other meetings. We hope the Chinese system will be responsive to that, and we'd be open to any arrangement that would work for them as long as he's given us freedom. It's really at this point a humanitarian situation because of his age and health.
Yeah, 78. Two more questions. There was a tweet that went viral. It was put out by communications staffer Steve Chung. It showed you in a Nike tracksuit, and it said that you were on Air Force One wearing the Nike Venezuela gear.
With the Maduro fit.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, he had the nigga outfit on, the New York City special.
Yeah,
was that
Maduro's fit?
Was that some type of?
No, it's a company.
Were you trying to send a sign? What's the con?
You're frozen. You're frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen? Oh, shit. Okay. I'll fix it.
Text for
There's
that.
no context.
He looks locked in.
Yeah.
Bro, you're doing the hands when you're frozen. Did you see that, chat? He was frozen on the Oy Vey hands.
I'm so cooked. Okay, there we go. We got you.
Was maybe making a joke, but he was surveying the audience. And I know you're Secretary of State. You don't like to talk about your political future. But he asked a group of supporters to clap if they like Vice President J.D. Vance or if they liked you better. It sounded like it was pretty even. What do you think about that? Would you want to be president?
No, look, I know this is going to sound like the typical job. I'm going to be in this job for the next 2.5 years. I'm going to do that job. I'm going to finish the job for this president. I'm enjoying it very much. I think we're going to make a lot of good things happen. JD is a very good friend of mine. If JD runs for president, I think he'd be a phenomenal candidate. I've said publicly, and I'll say it again, I'll be the first person to sign up and support him. I think JD would do great.
Would you want to be a vice president?
I want to be the Secretary of State, and I'll worry about the future in the future. I'm not saying, I'm not telling you that that's what I'm aiming for. I've been doing this for a long time too. I was in the Senate starting in 2010, so I'd like to do some other things in my life at some point. Although public service is an honor to be able to be.
Good answer though.
Okay,
Yeah,
I do want to ask you because we did so much reporting on Chinese
Pretty
EVs.
polished.
There's two arguments against Chinese EVs in the U.S. One from automakers, it'll cripple the industry because they're so cheap. But elected leaders have also said it's an issue of national security. Do you truly believe if China's EVs come to the U.S., it's an issue of national security?
Yes, because it'll wipe out.
Yeah, because they're better than Teslas, way better
Elon
and cheaper.
Musk is
because not just
because Elon Musk is a rich.
the EV, it's all of the other things that go into.
Does he actually do any engineering, or does he just tweet all day? When does he have time to engineer if he's tweeting
Elon
all
Musk,
day long?
Bro, he is the biggest fraud ever. This guy, Greg Reese, did a fantastic expose on him, bro. Like, Elon Musk is the type of guy, like, he's just been able to put himself in positions to just steal other people's work, bro. That's really what it is. He's not as intelligent or as brilliant as he claims to be or purports himself to be. He's one of the biggest frauds ever, bro. He's just been there to kind of, take people's work, put his name on it, and be like, yeah, man, that's me. Like,
he's like a South African Winklevoss twin, essentially just taking the formula away. Or no, like Zuckerberg from the Winklevoss people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Zuck stole it from the Winklevosses. Yeah. So it's just like, bro, that's just what he's been able to do. Is like he's been able to, steal it, put it under his brand. It's my idea, and that's what it is. Like, Elon Musk is like, this is why he has like that very bad millennial humor. Like, let me go into Twitter with the sync to say, let it sink in, like corny shit like that, man. Like, he just tries really hard to be like funny and edgy and what's the word I want to use here?
Quirky.
He's like quirky, and he's also like, he's very similar to Donald Trump, where he needs public praise all the time.
Yeah, he does.
He loves
Trump is funny. Elon. Well, I like Elon Musk. I think he's really funny. Shout out to X. I love free speech. He's good, man, and all good, man. I love Grok and the hentai porn.